Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aflac benefits meeting. I am Jackie, your Aflac advocate. I know we may have a small group today just because of scheduling, but thank you for those who have joined. We are recording this session just so that way your colleagues can get a chance to listen in onto the information as well. But if you are here in attendance today, thank you, welcome. I'm going to monitor the chat box, so feel free to put in any questions into the chat if you have any. I also put into the chat a link to an online benefits resource guide, essentially for all the Aflac benefits that are available to you through GSU. And I want to make sure that you all remember, whether you take insurance through Garden State Urology or not, it does not matter. You are all eligible for Aflac benefits. Aflac benefits are designed to work with your existing health insurance. You're in the medical field, so a lot of the things I'm going to talk to you about today are very, very commonplace to you all. But I do want to make sure that you are aware that these benefits are available to you, whether you take insurance through GSU or not. And they are only made available to enroll through me. So they're not going to be on your portal or through your open enrollment with the broker. I do work with your broker. We actually do all of this together as a partnership, but the actual applications themselves will be either in person with me or electronic with me. So with that, as I know some of your colleagues are going to join us, I'm going to get started. Again, for those of you who've just joined, my name is Jackie. I've been working with you all for quite some time now. If I've met you before, fantastic. I look forward to helping you again this year. And if I haven't, I look forward to hopefully getting in touch with you at some point over the next few weeks for open enrollment. So big picture around why Aflac exists and why it's so important and why GSU offers Aflac to each and every one of you is really because there's always medical expenses that arise that are not always covered by our health insurance. And as important as health insurance is, it's so important to make sure that we seek the treatments we need, no matter the financial costs at times. And sometimes those financial costs and out-of-pocket bills can really add up. And it becomes difficult, especially when we're dealing with things that, we can't predict, right? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring in my health status, even though I try really hard to be as healthy as I can be. But sometimes life happens, an accident, an illness, something of that nature. And health insurance, as important as it is, doesn't cover everything at 100%. So that's where Aflac really becomes a really phenomenal benefit. A couple distinctions I want you to be aware of as we go through these benefit options are affordability. This is not meant to be one size fits all. That's why I am going to encourage you to set up a one-on-one call with me throughout the course of open enrollment so I can really help you build the right level of coverage that fits your needs and your budget. I'm a real person with a real budget too, so I wouldn't prepare to say that everyone can afford all the things at the same level. That's not the case. And I do want to make sure that you know how affordable Aflac is, because it's meant to be financial peace of mind for us all. Whether we're making minimum wage to well into six figures, we all should afford financial peace of mind. And that's really what I love being able to do and how long I've been doing this with Aflac, because I work with so many people to just help everyone find the right level of coverage for them. Portability is also something to be very aware of, because even though you work for a phenomenal organization, if you were to move to a different state and change your job, or you were to retire, you could take these policies with you at the same discounted rate for your lifetime. So that's huge as well. They're not connected only to GSU. So you're paying into a policy that is yours to keep for your lifetime. And the rates never go up. So for those of you who have Aflac from last year or from years prior, your rate doesn't change. And that's something that's not normally commonplace with insurance. Every year we're facing higher rates and increases. We're filing claims, and usually our insurance premiums go up. Well, not with Aflac. So I do want to make sure you're aware of that. And from a coordination of benefits standpoint, there is none. So whatever insurance you have right now, or a workers' compensation situation that may happen, or your sick days, or whatever else is going on that may provide you a benefit, Aflac is there to be your financial benefit above and beyond that, with no coordination whatsoever of anything else that's going on with your insurances that are at play. And the claims process is meant to be fast and easy. You have me as your advocate to help you with all of it, but there's an online website and an app that'll really take you streamlined through the claims process. So I'll be sure to highlight that very briefly through this presentation today. Okay, let's dive in. What I'm going to do throughout the presentation is have a QR code that's on the screen. Feel free to pull out your cell phone, scan the QR code. If there's something of interest to you that you want to just chat a little bit about, there's no commitment to enroll. I love what I do. I really just want to help people and help you with something that may be of interest to you or want to talk through. So feel free to do that with those QR codes. Short-term disability is meant to be your income protection. If you reside in the state of New Jersey, yes, you do have the state of New Jersey temporary disability insurance. This is above and beyond that. So know that if I were hurt, I broke my leg, I couldn't work, if I got sick and I was out of work, if I'm planning to have a baby, right? These are all reasons why we want to consider short-term disability income replacement. It's above and beyond the state disability because we know that when something arises and if something happens that keeps me out of work, we tend to live paycheck to paycheck in our society, right? We tend to make a certain amount, we spend to that amount, we make more, we spend more. If we become hurt or sick, our incomes can take a hit and our expenses can rise. And that's really what gets us into a pickle. So even with state disability, it's not going to keep you whole. And usually when we're hurt or we're sick, there's additional bills that arise, and we'll talk about that as well. So consider short-term disability as a way to protect your most valuable asset, right? Your ability to wake up and go to GSU and do what you do to provide for yourself and your family. It's a benefit of up to $6,000 a month tax-free, and we're going to build it together based off your specific needs. Are we building it with a lot of sick time that you have at play? So maybe we could put an elimination period. Are we building it for maternity? Then we're going to build it in a different way for that. So lots of really great elements around how we can build it and make it affordable, but to have you have financial backing in the event your doctor puts you out of work due to injury or illness. So short-term disability, income replacement meant for you, the employee of GSU. Everything we talk about past this can include family, okay? So if there are no questions on, I should mention, short-term disability is an after-tax deduction because the benefit you would claim when you need to claim on that money is going to be tax-free. So if it's a $3,000 benefit, $4,000 benefit, $5,000, whatever it is, you're going to have that come back to you tax-free. There's also guarantee issue levels available as well. So if you have something going on right now in your health status and you say, oh, Aflac's going to turn me away, please scan the QR code or click on the link that I'm going to throw into the chat box to set up a one-on-one with me, because there are some really great guarantee issue levels that Aflac will not turn everybody away. You can turn no one away, essentially. We can certainly get you some coverage that's right for you. Okay, the next option available to you is life insurance. We all need life insurance, no matter what stage in our life we're in. When we're young and we're healthy and we're single and we don't have children or whatnot, we may not be thinking about life insurance, but I would tell you it's a really good time to actually consider it, because the younger we are, the cheaper it is. And it's a really great time to lock in some life insurance for the future. I started doing this when I was 28 years old. That was about 14 years ago. So I'll just tell you, my life insurance at 28 versus my life insurance at 42, is definitely very different, the cost wise. So I'm really happy I set something up back when. Now I'm pretty healthy, knock wood, right? That stays that way. But sometimes when things in our health status change, it can knock us out of being eligible for life insurance, which is another reason why I certainly encourage us all to consider looking at your entire portfolio right now. Open enrollment is a great time to do that. And just make sure you have enough life insurance at play. And if you get it through the job, phenomenal. But remember, you want to make sure you own your own life insurance. And what I mean by that is, if you have something through the job, is it portable? Traditionally, worksite life insurance is not. So you want to make sure that you're paying a premium to a life insurance carrier that you can take with you as your life changes. Because I've seen way too often people retire and now they don't have any more life insurance, or they change the jobs. And 10 years of a differential of working at a place, now when I'm looking for life insurance, it can become very costly. So there's a whole life option available to you. There's term life option available to you through Aflac, up to $500,000 with no medical exam. So it's a really simplified way to get some life insurance. So again, this is a really good time for you to look at your entire portfolio, see what you have at play. If you need any life insurance at all, let's have a conversation. If you're not sure and you just want to look at some rates, certainly let's just have a conversation because I'd love to help you. So that is another option after tax deduction. And you'll name your beneficiary. And if you're not quite ready to, you could certainly do that online in the future. But remember, it's not necessarily for us life insurance. We're doing it for our loved ones. Although whole life has some really great financial vehicle options around it too, from a cash value and some financial pieces that we can leverage. So if that's something of an interest, we can talk through that as well. Okay, so now the next set of plans we're going to discuss are all of our pre-tax options, and they're the ones that are a little counterintuitive to, why Aflac exists and why Aflac is so important. So when life arises and maybe a crisis around an illness or an injury, there's always some sort of medical bill or financial bill, I should say, at play. It's a copay, a deductible, a prescription drug, right? Some sort of medical out of pocket. We talked about disability, and potentially if I'm hurt or I'm sick and I can't work, the loss of income can certainly devastate a household. But consider, it may not just be one income that's now taking effect of the situation. It could be a second income. My husband may be taking time out of work to be with me. That loss of dual income can really cause financial stress on a household, especially when you're everyday, rent, mortgage, putting food on the table, all the bills, they don't stop. Right? Major Medical doesn't pay my Con Edison or provide my, groceries on my table or pay my mortgage. And when we are going through a situation, there are new bills that tend to arise, such as maybe additional Ubers to and from the doctor, or maybe it's taking in the GWB to park at Sloan and $50 a day plus all the tolls and the gas, right? It costs money to live and even to get well. And so that's the idea of Aflac, is to really focus on the protocols we need to do to get better, no matter where life takes us, to get the cures we need, to really help us focus on recovery and not worry about the financial stressors. So the first plan I really want to highlight, and if you've not thought about this in the past, I really encourage you to consider this plan. Whether we're 18 or we're 75, cancer doesn't discriminate. So that is why Aflac provides you this benefit option, this insurance option, that is the same rate for all of us. Because as cancer, whether, we all know someone who's gone through it, whether it's a child that has a brain tumor to lymphoma to, breast cancer, and nowadays, hate to say it, but they're moving the mammograms for us women from 40s to 30s, because more and more women now in our younger ages are getting diagnosed. And it's something that doesn't even need to be prevalent in our family these days. With 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women being diagnosed with a cancer, and you live in a world, you reside in a world with what you do, that, we're going through it, you see it. Curable, right? Very curable, but it can be financially devastating to families. So how this plan works, and I don't want anyone to ever have to use the plan except for your yearly wellness benefits. So every year we have the plan for our PAPs or our mammos or our husband's PSA exams or colonoscopies, chest x-rays, all those cancer wellness benefit screenings. We don't pay for them, right? Our insurance does. Well, this plan will provide you a $75 or $100 wellness benefit, depending on the level of the plan that you choose, just for going into your online portal or your app on your phone and logging into your account and saying that you had your mammogram and this was the location, and you hit, submit. They put the money into your bank account the next day, because Aflac really wants to encourage us, or bribe us, however you'd like to choose it, to give us money for doing the things we need to do to stay well. But if, God forbid, there is a diagnosis, let's just say, what happens and how does this work? From first diagnosis to the types of protocols I'm going through, from chemo to radiation to hospitalization to, surgeries to immunotherapies, right? In this scenario, this person was diagnosed with a type of cancer that then showed as leukemia. They were in the hospital. They had a bone marrow biopsy. They went to the NCI for a second opinion and a consult, not only between their initial diagnosis benefit, but from their chemos to their immunotherapies to their hospitalization. They received a benefit in this scenario of $27,000. On the higher level, the same scenario may have been $40,000. This has nothing to do with what your health insurance is or is not doing. It's all about what do I need to go through to get well. And these monies are provided to me as a reimbursement to help me focus on the best fighting chances I need to have, whether that oncologist is in network or out of network, in state, out of state, right? And all of that really can add to the stressors of dealing with the cancer. So the last thing we want to, again, worry about is how am I going to financially get through this scenario, really focus on recovery. So this plan has a lot of options. We can build it on just cancer and a lower or a higher tier. And we certainly have critical illness options available as well: heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, cardiac arrest, because going through recovery around some of those calamities really can be financially devastating for families. And I know we've seen it with GoFundMe pages on Facebook and all the things. And even with the best of health insurance, it still isn't enough. So for a plan that's right around $8 a week, it's pre-tax. You get your wellness benefit back every year. Children are free till the age of 26. I highly encourage you, no matter what your age, your situation might be, to just consider this plan. I've been doing this a long time now, and I will tell you more than ever. I mean, not only was this the first plan I enrolled myself in, but I've seen this year alone all of the policyholders I've had the privilege of helping. I hate that they had a diagnosis, but they were certainly super grateful and couldn't help stop being so grateful to Aflac for having this type of benefit in their back corner. Because really, when it came down to it, money was going to be the least of their worries as they're dealing with fighting their cancer diagnosis. So really powerful, very, very important option to consider is the cancer and critical illness plan. Okay, moving on, we're going to go to the accident plan. It's kind of what it sounds like. Should an injury arise because I'm hurt on or off the job, or little Johnny falls off the monkey bars and you run him to urgent care, or Annabelle's playing soccer and she slide tackles and she sprains her ankle, right? All of those things, we're going to run our loved ones to the emergency room, the doctors, x-rays, MRIs, physical therapy, right? All of those things will transpire. We can't predict an accident, right? That's why they're called accidents. So they just sometimes happen from something minor to something major. And so how this policy will work is the same exact way. It'll provide us reimbursements around the treatments associated with our care, from emergency room to x-rays to MRIs, physical therapy, surgery, emergency dental work because I chipped my tooth, stitches, concussion, whatever it is. So another scenario just to kind of show you how it works. In this scenario, someone was playing hockey and they broke their leg. From the ambulance to the emergency room to the surgery to getting a wheelchair to physical therapy to the MRIs to family lodging benefits because they had to be treated more than 50 miles away from their home. This plan that is $6 a week and again is pre-tax would yield a benefit of upwards of $5,000 in this one scenario. So from something minor to $200 for walking into the urgent care or emergency room to then a hospital stay, a surgery, so forth and so on. These plans can be really powerful again to really offset some of the out-of-pocket associated with my care and then be money in hand so that I can focus on again what I need to do to get well. When I was 28 with a stress fracture in my hip, living on a 4th floor walk-up, I definitely was missing time out of work. And then when I was going to work back then, there was no Ubers, it was yellow cabs. And so I wasn't swiping my Metro card, right? I was definitely calling cabs. So this plan, definitely was super helpful for me because I spent a whole lot of money out of pocket just to try to get myself around the city. So it was really something that, again, very small cost with a wellness benefit built into it, $60 a year. So you're never hurt, but you're still going to get back a wellness benefit and has some built-in life insurance for free. So really useful plan, really everyday plan, especially depending on what you do at GSU. It could be something really useful in your back pocket for at work as well. And then if you have children with, sports and all of that, I do find this to be a really helpful everyday plan as well. The next option is our hospital policy. It's really helping to offset the cost of being associated with being hospitalized. So this is a very cut and dry plan. If I'm admitted to the hospital, it's $1,000 I would receive as a benefit, $50 a day thereafter. If it is maternity, I break a leg, I'm sick, right? What surgery, whatever it is, right? There's a great benefit associated with this plan from that perspective. So $1,000 of admission as I would receive, even if my copay was $500, right? I'm going to receive the $1,000 from this plan, $50 a day thereafter. So definitely help you offset any out of pocket, any loss of income, certainly be there money in hand. If you're family planning, I certainly encourage you to scan that QR code or click on the link to set up a one-on-one with me, because we need to do these things before we conceive. I've been getting a whole lot of interest in my maternity options this past year. And unfortunately, I've been turning down a lot of people that are already pregnant. So we do need to do this ahead of time, not super far in advance, but we do need to do this and hold it for a few months prior to working to conceive. So if this is the timing where you're thinking about family planning for next year, please, let's definitely have a conversation, because I love making my moms to be lots of money for their maternity leave. So hospital, injury, illness, surgery, maternity, great options available here as well. It is a guarantee issue plan, meaning that if I had something going on in my health status, just know you're not going to be turned away. So we'll talk through that and pre-existing conditions as well. Last but not least is the dental supplement. This is really designed to help offset some of the out-of-pocket costs associated with your dental care. It really depends on you and your individual situation. If you're someone that just goes in for your routine cleanings and x-rays, you probably don't need more dental insurance. But if you are someone that's more prone to dental work, or you just feel that your dental plan, your dental coverage is just not doing what you need it to do for the treatments you need in procedures, or maybe for the dentist that you choose to go to, this is a phenomenal supplement. It's going to give you an additional $1,200 per person per year worth of dental coverage with no networks. So you continue to go to who you like to go to, and all you need to do is get the receipt with the procedure codes. All dentists use the ADA codes. You send that to me or upload it to your app, and Aflac will provide you a reimbursement that's reasonable and customary based off of your procedures. There are some waiting periods built into this plan. That's just how they keep the price point so low. They really want people to leverage in using the plan, but they don't want to keep, jack up the price, because truthfully, dental insurance can be very expensive. So starting at $5 a week, this is an option that day one, January 1st, you're eligible for your cleanings and your x-rays as a reimbursement. So even if you're not paying for your cleanings, you're going to get $25 back per cleaning twice a year and $15 for your x-ray. As you're using your plan throughout the year, after 3 months, you're eligible for things like fillings. 6 months, you're eligible for your basic oral surgery, like your extractions. A year for the root canal, the crown. So the first year may be the hardest in terms of you're holding on to the plan, you're using it for more routine things or more of the smaller things, but you certainly will have options available to you year after year one, and the growth around it is also going to be there as well. So year 2, you have $1,300 a year worth of coverage. Year 4, or 3, you have $1,400. Until your 5th year, you're at $1,700 worth of additional dental coverage, but your price point remains the same. So great option for you if it's something that you have more dental needs than just your baseline dental insurance covers. Okay, real quick before we wrap up, if you have Aflac, or you're saying, well, if I get Aflac, then what do I do after that? How do I submit claims or all of that? So you'd scan a QR code, or I'd send you a way to log in online for getting the app or the online account. And once you register for services, you get into your account, it'll look just like this and say, what's on your mind? And it could be as easy as just hitting, let's go, let's submit a claim. Aflac, again, is just going to need documentation associated with your care, proof of treatment, except for the wellness benefits. So again, as a reminder, things like your cancer wellness, your accident wellness, and your dental, right? You can go on in, you can log in, you can submit those, and you have yearly reimbursements available to you for all of these great well visits that we have. With the dental, we will need the receipt for that one, but that's really easy to grab off of your EOBs or whatnot. But the cancer care and the accident policies are all just on our system. So with that, I know I'm running out of time, so I want to be respectful of all of your time and also give you a minute or two to ask any questions if you have any. Again, you can feel free to scan the QR code, or you can click on the link in the chat box if you'd like to set up a one-on-one to have a consult with me. We can do it via phone, or we can do a WebEx. And I can certainly take your applications right online. It's really very, very easy. But I do encourage us to just consider some of these options. They're one of these types of things that, we don't want to plan to be sick or hurt, right? We're not built that way. We're not built to have a sick or a hurt fund. But the truth of the scenario is, all in today's world, right? It costs money to live and to survive and to get well. So with these types of options, they really provide us with a lot of power in the financial realm of things, right? Money may not take away a diagnosis, but money certainly is power. Gives me a lot of options so that I can really focus on my recovery and what that looks like for me and my family. So with that being said, I'm going to take a pause and see if there are any questions. Okay. Well, if there are no questions, as I mentioned, I'm here to provide you with a consultation. I will send Adrian and team an email to forward out to everyone else with some additional resources. And if I can help you over this open enrollment, I certainly look forward to. Everything will start for January 1st. So nothing would come out of your paycheck until your first pay in January. So certainly get you through the holidays, which is nice to know. And then just really be some phenomenal benefits for 2024 moving forward. So have a great day, everyone. Happy open enrollment. And I certainly look forward to being able to chat with you in the future and helping each and every one of you. And please spread the Aflac cheer to your colleagues. I will try to make it as easy as possible to set up times to connect based off of weekends, nights, and things of that nature as well. It is a busy season. So happy holidays, everyone. Thank you, and look forward to chatting with you in the future. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jackie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.